Hello and welcome to the REL. What divisions did we cover again? It's been so long, I've
Nine
forgotten.
and 10A.
Okay, 9 and 10A. Yeah, that sounds right. I'm Chaos Blue.
I'm Dwigs, guys.
We haven't been around for a while. For a couple weeks. Well, like a week and a half maybe. It feels like longer than it's been, to be
Yeah,
honest.
life has hit hard for me and Chaos Blue, but we're back.
At least this once. Hopefully, consistently for the rest of the season as well. Uh,
Yeah,
you know, we'll see. Um, I think probably we'll be fine. We just had a couple especially busy weeks. Uh, anyway, because we missed a week, we will be looking at all of the games from week 7 and from week 8. Wait, no, week 6 and week 7. No, I was a week ahead there. We're not looking at week 8. Not
yeah,
looking at week 8.
yeah. Suck it, week 8.
um,
Later.
Then we're gonna do some other stuff special, especially for the mid-season review, which we are maybe a little bit late for, but we're not. Look, okay, the whole thing is a little bit late. We're past that.
That's fine. It's a week 7 review. It's a 13-week season. This is the midway point.
Ish. Okay. Now that that's established, let's look at some games for Division 9 really quickly here. We have Sierra Boys Giant Stags versus Charleston Chiefs, where the Chiefs won 2-1.
Yeah, it was a lot of death and destruction on the Wood Elf side. We got a dead War Dancer and a bunch of badly hurts and one MNG catcher. It's not too bad. Really, only the dead War Dancer is the only big deal. But yeah, Lizard's doing lizard stuff.
Yeah, that's sort of what it looks like. And also, Wood Elf's not doing Wood Elf stuff.
Nope.
Except for dying, I suppose. That's sort of a Wood Elf thing.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
Okay, Fat Earthers versus Mystery Sandscope 3000. I was actually really excited when I saw this result.
Yep, the Fat Earthers won.
They won! Stunty wins! The Ogres do it!
We had Bomber Drigglesnout getting a casualty on one of the players, which is nice. I hope it was with the bomb, but I don't know if it...
That does
that
not
way.
show up on the stats, unfortunately. It should, but it doesn't. Intercepting bombs don't show up on the stats either.
Yeah, well, the Fat Earthers had an 87% ball possession, 0% for the Goats. Just seems like it was probably a blitz or something, allowed them to get the ball and just hold on to it for the entire game.
That is what it looks like. Okay. And of course, the last one for week 6 for Div 9 is Sugar and Spite versus the Royal Tons Circus, which was won by the Dark Elves 1-0.
Yeah. Only thing of note that I really see on here is you got a minus strength Kislev Blitzer, which is unfortunate because they're expensive. But other than that...
Unfortunate, but not unheard of.
Yeah. Frogs die. And But it was... looks like a fairly even game, pretty even ball possession, and just the Dark Elves were able to squeak it out.
Yeah, that is what it looks like. This solidly looks like the Dark Elves scored on their half, and the Kislev did not. Okay. That is week 6. This division is so small. I kind of feel bad about it, but also I kind of really like it.
What, it's just going super quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Week 7. Fat Earthers versus Sugar and Spite. Elves win.
Yep, I was hoping the Ogres could go 2 for 2 in a row. They did have the most ball possession, so Sugar and Spite had to have got the ball up from quick and scored the same turn, I'm assuming, and then like did a 1 turn, something like that. It was 56% to 18. No real damage of note. Just Lyman and Noblars getting perms, so nothing crazy.
I do suspect that some ogres got KO'd, just based on the numbers here.
Oh yeah, 6 KOs.
Yeah, like Fat Earthers doesn't have very many Noblars, so I feel like to hit that number, it is likely, but it is likely that some ogres got hit. Although it might have just been Noblars. Maybe they came back for seconds, you know.
do not know.
Yeah, which don't know. It will forever remain a mystery to me.
Yep.
Anyway.
We're moving on.
Sierra Boys versus Royalton Circus. Wait, no, did I just look at this game? No, I didn't.
No, we did not. We're just going so quick like. CR Boys ends up winning the game. Unfortunately, the Agi 6 lineman got a niggle. I would still keep that Agi 6 lineman though. No other damage done to CR Boys. No damage done to the Kislev. Kislev had 56% ball possession, 31 for the Wood Elves, so they probably just scored quick. More KOs for the Wood Elves, but more casualties sustained.
And a lot of SVP all around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, after losing a Blitzer in their last game, I guess coming up back, like that's back-to-back elves, isn't it? That's maybe not the best for Kislev. Although I'm not sure what is the best for Kislev.
Goblins, maybe? I don't know.
No, but then you need to deal with chainsaws. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. Next we have the Durn's Dastardly Dudes versus Frosting and Filling, which was won 2-0 by the Norse.
Norse doing Norse stuff. We got the Yeti got a casualty. The minus strength on a Blitzer for the 2 minus strengths on the dwarf side. Dwarf Blitzer and a dwarf blocker, both taking a minus strength. Though both he needed to get retired anyway. I don't know if I would go with Fend for a skill, so it's good. No damage really to the Norse, and yeah, just good old Norse ball possession game.
Wait, Fend? I need to see this for a second. Oh, that is that is the Longbeard who took Fend on its first level up. Yeah, I agree. That should be retired.
Yep.
Okay.
Nuffle did you a favor.
The tackle on the Blitzer, I mean, that's not like a bad choice, but I feel like it's excessive at this stage of your development. As well. Anyway, last of all, we have the Charlestown Chiefs versus Mr. Sandscope 3000. The Lizards win.
Yeah, Lizards doing lizard things again. That's just kind of what happens. Slidley made an appearance, though, in the game, but also got casualtied, so...
Well, at least one thing went right for Chaos.
Yeah.
Or so I said. You know what? I think that must have been a foul.
It was, possibly. It's a fairly even, possession. 56-43, so it probably... doesn't look like there's a lot of KOs or casualties on either side, so it's just kind of a scrum for the most part, and the Lizards were able to get through on their drive, and the Goats were not able to on theirs.
Yeah, I suppose so. That is what it seems. What seems to be the case. Okay, now that we're through that, now for the part where we're gonna actually spend some time on. Hopefully not too much time. We can get a little... okay, let's be fair. I can get a little carried away. We're going to look at each team in the division for the mid-season to see how they've developed and where they're going. We're going to try and make it quick for each team, but, you know, I'm not making any promises. So, first off on the list is the Charlestown Chiefs.
Putting on the foil.
Yep.
All right. This is a really good Lizard team. I like it. Could use, and I don't know if maybe some Saurus have died in the process, but get some levels on their 2 rookies. That's a nice Crocs. Guard, break tackle, block. I don't really see a whole lot wrong with it. I like the Sure Hand Skink, but I'm not so sure if you really need him now that you have an Agi 2 Skink, unless it's like you're going up against Kislev or War Dancers who can leap into your cage with Street Ball. But
it looks like one Saurus did die. The other rookie has just been around here the whole time.
Gotcha.
It just hasn't done anything.
But yeah, it's a really nice looking lizard team. I don't really know if I have anything to critique on it. Everything looks really good.
Yeah, season half in, you have 2 level 3 Saurus. You have some Mighty Blow, you have some Guard, you have some Tackle. You have the Crocs, which is kind of insane, actually. All this thing needs is stand firm. And then, or maybe Tackle, if you roll another double. And then it's perfect.
Yep. It's a really good Crocs.
And it has the obligatory plus agility skink.
Yep.
TV is a little bit high maybe for this division, but you know what? You know what? That's something that'll sort itself out, I think. I don't think this team is bloaty. I think it's just well developed compared to what it's playing against.
Yeah, it's a very good team.
And Magic Dome. A little boring, but I'm not going to blame Blizzards for taking a Magic Dome.
No, I wouldn't either.
Okay. Stats wise, they are 5-1-1, so I think they are the first place in the division, actually. First or second, for sure.
They are in second place.
Okay, then. Wow, we're going to definitely talk about the first place team when we get to them.
Yep.
So they're doing quite well, which makes sense with this roster. And also just with the coach has been doing well, because the coach is a good coach. But Steer, you're doing well, is what I'm saying. You have 9 touchdowns scored in set. Okay, this is actually, you have mostly won, going 1-0 in your games, and you've done that without killing half of your opponent's team each time. So that takes a lot of skill to do.
Yeah, I mean, Lizards are mainly a control team, so all you gotta do is control the pitch and then get your quick touchdowns on your skinks, and then try and keep them from getting and being able to score.
That's pretty much exactly it. A ton of fan factor though.
Yeah.
That is a blessing and also a curse. Okay, yeah, I don't even have much that I really want to say that you should do with this team, because it looks good, and I think you clearly know what you're doing with its development.
Yeah, I think just if you can, get some touchdowns on those rookie Saurus, and be off to the races.
Actually, Dave is about to level up. If it's another normal, take catch.
Dave's about, and what'd you say? Take what?
Or maybe I wouldn't take. Actually, no. I have exactly one thing on this team that I don't like, and it is that he took jump up after getting an plus agi on his skink. And that's not even that bad. Jump up is still useful. I just think it's suboptimal. And that is an extremely nitpicky comment. It's just I want to criticize something. Okay.
Yeah, I would either catch or sprint, because he's your one-turner.
It already has sure feet, so sprint is actually probably just as good a choice as catch. Okay,
all right.
Let's move on. Durin's Dastardly Dudes.
We got ourselves some dwarves, boys. Not a terrible looking dwarf team, just need to recycle that long beard and that blitzer.
Yeah, both of those need to be fired. This team has 5 guard players on it. It has 5 Mighty Blow players on it. It has 2 block runners, one of whom has tackle and one of whom has Hail Mary pass. It had so strength bust aside, you also has 400k in the bank.
Yeah, he's saving up for some free agents.
There's no free dwarf agents.
Oh, there aren't? Oh,
Trust me on this. There are none. Four
I don't-
rerolls as well.
Maybe
Oh.
he's so confident that he wants to inflate his TV so that it's everybody else is on a level playing field.
And a beer stand. Well, you know there are worse enhancements for dwarves. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to force my preferences on you. But I will talk about at least not in terms of stadium enhancements. I will definitely force my preferences on your team composition. Because there's a few things here that feel iffy to me. I think there is too much tackle on positionals. You want you want to be relying on the tackle on your long beards. Eventually, you get to the point where you want tackle on a blitzer or a troll slayer, or a runner conditionally, which I'll get to in a minute. Simply because you need it on a player who has more mobility, so that you can handle the really fast dodgers as you get more developed. This is probably around the stage in the team where it should be considering doing that, but 3 different positionals with tackle on a second level up is way overkill. The Troll Slayer has more important things to take on the second level up. The Blitzer has more important things to take on a second level up. The Runner, maybe, but that brings us to part 2 of this. Why does this runner have tackle in the first place? This runner is a block runner. If it's intended to be a safety or a sacker, then it should not have block. And if it's not intended to be a safety or a sacker, then it should not have tackle.
Yep, you should be doing wrestle tackle, I think, with at least one of those runners.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, maybe he's got his own way of playing the game that he likes and doesn't care about the meta.
I mean that's fair.
So, my advice here for this team would be, recycle those 2 players. You're not going to use a strength 2 player on a dwarf team, so go ahead and get those recycled. You got plenty of money to do it. I don't think you need 4 rerolls, so you could probably drop one of those as well, and then maybe trim some of that extra cash as well if you're still over 150. So you're not inflating your TV, and then just take like wizards and star players and whatnot. Dwarves have some good ones.
Yeah, like having said all that, I think okay. So for the runner, I think it's fine to have 2 runners who are just runners and are not. You don't need to turn a runner to a sacker. I certainly prefer that, but you don't need to do that. But I feel like this is really trying to do it both ways, and I don't think that's very effective. Which is why I brought it up. But yeah, like, criticism aside, I think this is a pretty healthy looking dwarf team overall. I don't think there are any really, really bad level up choices except for Fend. And that player needs to, and that player is effectively dead now anyway.
Yep.
It also has 12 dwarves, which I like. I think it can probably afford to dump a reroll, but you have 400. I don't know what you're saving up for. So, I just don't know. Maybe there's a reason you have 4 rerolls, is what I'm saying.
He's going to buy all 10 cheerleaders and all 10 coaching assistants in one go.
Maybe. Record-wise, 4, 0, and 3, so you're not on top of the division, but you've won more games than you've lost.
It's better than I can say.
I think technically it's better than I can say as well. I am 50-50 split. At least I am this season. But yeah, like, keep working at it. Try and get a little more guard. Try and get a lot more mighty blow. Try and get more utility skills. I think that is probably what you'll get the most return on your investment with this team. Like stand firm and piling on, and I'm sure there are other ones that aren't guard or. Anyway, moving on.
Everyone's favorite Chaos team, the Mystery Science Goats 3000.
In the not too distant future.
I love that color scheme. I love it a lot. The zinc blue.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, so I see 4 team rerolls, which might be a little bit heavy, but you know, it's chaos. I see 4 Chaos Warriors who all have block. 2 of them have guard, 1 of them has blodge. I see a whole lot of 2 heads and extra arms.
Yeah. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I do. Dirk Hardpeck's got a pending level up, and I don't know what he rolled, but I'm a fan of having one of your Chaos Warriors being a killer as well. So I would advocate for Mighty Blow there, but that is 100% a biased opinion.
I am personally not a fan of Chaos Warriors being killers. I think
I wouldn't give him piling on, but I would give him Claw Mighty Blow.
I mean, like, eventually all the Chaos Warriors are going to have... Well, on a normal Chaos team, eventually all the Chaos Warriors are going to have Mighty Blow, because they're strictly better players with Mighty Blow. But I am definitely in the camp where I want to develop a Chaos Warrior similarly to how I would develop, say, a Black Orc. I want block, guard, stand firm. I might I would take Mighty Blow before Stand Firm just to speed things up, but I want a Strength 4 linchpin that is going to stay on its feet. That the rest of the team that facilitates the plays of the rest of the team, and the reason I like that because you can turn a Chaos Warrior into a pretty effective killer, but the thing is, Beastmen are already almost. I mean, except that they start with no skills, they're already pretty much the perfect killer player.
Yeah, but I'm saying the argument for that is just having that one Strength 4 player to go up against, like for line of scrimmage blocks, so you're not putting a Beastman on the line to get that Mighty Blow hit. It's going to make him develop faster. I would go block Mighty Blow guard, just so you can go ahead and get that 3rd skill on your warrior. Just one of them is all I'm saying. The rest of them should be block guard, or I like the blodge, and then if he gets guard on the next skill up, he's going to be a fantastic Chaos Warrior, big, large, huge. He's only got the one Mighty Blow right now, and that Mighty Blow does not have block. So I think it desperately needs one block Mighty Blow on the team.
That's fair. I feel like I really need to try and get a hold of Negative Pro at some point, because I really want to. I feel like he's trying to do something with this, and I don't know what it is. Maybe he's just throwing darts at a dartboard. Maybe there's some deeper plan here. I don't know, but I want to know. Also, there's 2 niggles. That's a little bit iffy.
Yeah, I would think about recycling Smash Lampjaw fairly soon. I know he's your only sure hands, but it's not hard to get a 1 goat 1 level to get another sure hands player.
I would probably keep the blocker at least until you get more blocks.
Yeah. I'd like to see one of these goats get dirty player.
Ha.
I like fouling with goats.
Okay, so this team has a TV of 1720, which is incredibly high for this level of development, I feel. But also, that's something to watch out for. Part of that is because it has cheerleaders and coach assistants. Part of it is because it has 14 players and 4 rerolls. It has a lot of everything. And it adds up after a while. I've also noticed it has Neffel's Altar, which feels like an odd choice, because at this team... Chaos, first of all, doesn't have very good star players.
Yeah, there's only the one Chaos Warrior that comes to mind for me. I keep forgetting his name.
Yeah, like, some teams have amazing star players. Chaos is not one of them. But more importantly, they're all really expensive. So I don't think you're with this TV, I don't think you're playing them with Neffel's Altar.
Yeah.
Which means what this is doing is it's enabling your opponent to get better star players against you.
Yep.
I think that's something to look at. Okay. let's move on.
All right.
Okay, yeah, that's like half of a team anyway. Sierra Boys, Giant Stags.
This team looked so good coming into the season, and it's just gotten continuously beat on.
I mean, to be honest, what's here still looks really good.
That's true. Only one War Dancer because the strip ball one died. He's only got 10k in the bank too, which is that sucks because you need to be able to replace it. I mean, you're Wood Elves though, so they level up quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard to score with Wood Elves, especially with the stat lines on these elves right here.
Yeah, I mean, like block plus movement.
9.
Oh yeah, that guy. Movement 9, Agi 5, Wrestle, Nerves of Steel, Catcher.
Okay.
Okay. Agi 6, Line Elf.
Which I think that one got a niggle too.
Looks like it did. Oh, actually,
it
looks like it's 2
niggled.
niggles. Well, it might not be with the team much longer, but until it's gone, it's really good. And the tree is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Block plus movement and grab. Like, what else do you need on a tree?
Don't know. Maybe guard, but that's also not really that necessary because you're not going to be doing a whole lot of blocking with Wood Elves.
Genuinely, I feel like the answer is piling on.
Well, you got a movement 3 tree.
It's
so
a movement 3 tree, so you can pile on in order to unroot yourself.
Yep.
I guess jump up would still be good as well. Yeah, if I roll the double, like I would still take jump up. It doesn't matter that you have plus movement. Jump up is still worthwhile on it.
Yeah, jump up, piling on, but all those are good.
Especially if you then take piling on. And no stadium. Okay. I mean, this is just a really good team. So
it is. It's been beat up pretty hard, so he's low on players.
And that's also pretty much explains the 304 win rate, I think. It's just taken so much attrition that it's been having trouble winning games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The Fat Earthers.
Everyone's favorite ogre team. I like these ogres. Like development wise, they look really good. You got 3 break tackle, 1 agi 3 with stand firm, so I'm assuming your primary ball carrier. Break tackle grab's a decent skill. I would yeah, I like having the 1 grab. You never know when you're gonna need it. You got block guard, another block ogre, movement 6 ogre. With the stand firms, I would, at least the one that's movement 6, I would think maybe guard next would be really good for him, just so you're going to have a guard piece that's going to be able to just stand in the way.
I feel like this team could also use some piling on.
Yeah, you want to have at least 1 piling on player. Maybe Fat Earth Project. Since he's already got block, you can blitz with him and then pile it on.
Yeah, in the case of ogres in particular, that's often the best way to remove players. You hit them with your palmer, and then you have double the chances to kill them.
Yep. And if you get doubles again on that guy, I would get jump up on Fat Earth Project. I would turn him into just a palm killing machine.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Other than that, I think there's a good number of Noblars or Snotlings you prefer. Only a single one of them has a level up, so that's good because it means all of the TV value is in the ogres.
Yep.
Only 3 rerolls, which seems quite low for this team. It is sitting at 150k, so maybe it's trying to buy up more Noblars because I remember having fewer. But also, I feel like it's got to be close to buying a fourth team reroll, right?
Maybe it depends. It's 70K for a reroll on TV value that's pretty huge.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe he's just trying to make it do a 3.
And no stadium enhancement either.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I know you haven't been winning many games, but you know that's ogre life for you. And your team looks good. Like this team looks like it's probably fun to play. So even if you aren't winning, I'm sure you're enjoying it.
All right.
Memel. No, that team's not here. Sugar and Spite.
1770 Dark Elves. A very healthy 1770 Dark Elf team. We got a Blodge Guard Sidestep, which is awesome. Blodge Mighty Blow Tackle Blitzer, which is awesome. You got a Blodge Tackle Strip Ball Blitzer, which is awesome. 2 Wrestle Witches, 1 with Juggernaut, which is awesome. Like, this is just a good team. It's very well-rounded. 1 Guard Lineman. It's got minus movement. Minus movement's not so bad for a Guard Lineman. So.
Yeah. You definitely still keep that elf.
Yeah.
It's not lineman fodder just because it has minus movement. Certainly not with guard.
Yeah. So I think it's a very good, healthy-looking elf team.
Do you remember when I said that the lizards had a high TV and they were one of the lowest ones we looked at?
Yep.
And they have beer stand as well. So this team is doing some surfing, at least in principle.
I don't go for the beer stand with Dark Elves myself, but I don't disagree with people who do go for it. Especially when you have a Juggernaut Witch. It makes it way easier.
For sure. This is another 403 team as well. And yeah, I mean, like you said, it looks like a good team. Okay, look, I don't know enough about elves to say more than that. I can offer surface level analysis of elves, which are clearly unneeded in this case.
Yeah, the only things that I could say for possibly wanting to do moving forward, Kane, I don't know, maybe leap if you don't get anything else, so you can, leap into a cage and strip ball at the dude. But that's still risky on a 3+, but it's not that risky. It depends on if you want to commit a reroll to it.
Hire an assassin, I guess. That's always good. That's always a good idea.
No, don't hire an assassin. Don't listen to him. He's stupid. But it looks like you already know what you're doing anyways. I don't really know if there's much that I can tell you that you don't already know.
Yeah, okay then. Let's move on to the Royalton Circus. Free admission. Did they have a bear before? I think that's new.
I think I think they had one, but this particular bear might be new. It's played 2 matches.
Yeah.
So a rare short hair Crocs the bear. I like it.
Love it. So this is a pretty well developed team. I mean, yeah, no, like this team has a lot of good development on it. It has 6 Agi 4 players. It's basically an elf team with a Croxagore.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, I like this build. I like the 2 Blitzer build for Kislev. I think we've talked about that before. So I'm glad we're not bloating it up with more Blitzers. I know that one died recently that was a rookie. I don't think you need another replacement for him. But if you want to go for a 3rd Blitzer, that's fine too. Like, there's multiple ways to play Kislev and play Kislev effectively. Yeah, but it looks good. You got a Sacker lineman. You have a pseudo Sacker lineman with the block tackle Agi up. You got the 1 dirty player lineman. If you're gonna have a dirty player lineman, I would have a bench, and you might have had one and it died. Because frogs do die and die a lot. So,
yeah, that's something that happens.
So you don't want to be giving them an extra man up on you with send off unless you have a bench.
This team only has 3 rerolls, which is actually quite low for Kislev. Normally, Kislev wants extra rerolls for leap. They're
And for dodging and blocking, because they don't start with any of that. We got one dodge on the team, and you got a good amount of block and wrestle. So, I can see it. Maybe he might have wanted to drop one at one point because he realized he didn't need that many.
Yeah.
With the development he had.
I mean, I know for me personally, if I had players like this and I did not have Leap, I would be very happy with 3 rerolls. If I wanted to use Leap a lot, I think having the 4th reroll is still worthwhile, though.
It all depends, though, because like some Kislev coaches will only leap if they have to, or if it's the exact same odds of dodging and leaping.
Oh.
So it doesn't really matter if they do it or not. So if you're not committing a reroll to it anyway, then what's the point?
Yeah, that's fair. Other than that, the only thing that stands out to me is that the catchers are actually not especially strongly developed. And I think that's okay. Like, I think Kislev catchers are a player who is really, really good on level 2 and 3.
Yeah, I like them. They feel like they're kind of like ghouls, where they're good, and you just use them until they inevitably explode, and you get another one.
I know I've compared them to slower and more expensive gutter runners before, and I think that is an apt comparison. It does basically the same thing as a gutter runner, only not as good because gutter runners are OP. But you know what? Not as good as a gutter runner is still really, really good.
Yep.
Okay. And it has the royal box.
That
is crazy.
I like it.
It's on theme. I'll take it. It really is on theme, though.
I love it, and I like the team, the name of the stadium too.
That I love it. I love it. Okay.
It's a great team.
Well,
never retire it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, you know what? I can't criticize this team anymore. It has the perfect stadium. Okay. Next up, we have Frosting and Filling.
This is the last team of the division, and
it is.
They are 7-0.
Oh yeah, they're doing quite well.
Yes, they are. And this is the team where we had the lineman with plus agi and sure hands and kickoff return, but also has a thrower with accurate. So I'm actually curious to watch one of these games and see just how those two interact. Like, who's doing what job.
I mean, based on their development, I feel like mostly the job is being done by the lineman.
Yeah, I feel like he is your primary ball retriever, and he'll just hand off and do whatever to other people. He's got 6 touchdowns scored. Only thrown 3 passes, 2 MVPs, 2 injuries inflicted, whereas the thrower has
2 touchdowns.
That's about it, and 28 yards running. So you're not even really using him as a ball carrier or a thrower.
I feel like, if anything, the thrower is a backup for the lineman at this point.
Yeah, I could see that. Or like if you're in a desperate, like accurate's when you're making a pass is just as good as plus agility. And he's got a free reroll on the pass, so if like you're doing like a desperate last second play, Lime Curd is technically better than Fondant Glaze at his job. But we got a couple block fin linemen, which I like for the line of scrimmage. On defense, you got one dirty player, which I like. Tackle strip ball lineman, which is good. You've got try and focus some development on your ults. I'm sure you have been trying to, but it probably just hasn't been working out in your favor. But I mean, you're 7-0, so you're doing good. You've got like a pseudo ulf and banana schmutz.
Yeah.
Berserker with plus strength. Yeah, this is a good looking team. I would have liked to have seen. Well, you don't have because there's not a lot of doubles and not a lot of guard on the team, I can see why you took guard on both berserkers. I would have liked to see one of them with piling on instead. But
Oh, hey, there's the stat I was looking for. 12 serfs across their Rebel career, which includes this season and last season.
not bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's Norse. They have the beer stand.
Yeah, I like beer stand on Norse. I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good looking team. I would try and get more development on your alts because it's starting to get to the bloaty stage. And when you get to that point with Norse, you want your Power 5 to be well developed. And your Yeti's good, your Berserkers are good. It's just your Ulfs are a little behind. They're not bad, they're just behind. So if you can get them to catch up, this team will be really good.
This is another team with 4 rerolls as well. And, I mean, clearly it's been working for Daffo. Maybe he's using them for just pure greed. Maybe he's doing crazy dodges in past plays.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah,
so if you're just using these for regular blocking, I do not think this team needs 4 rerolls. And that's shaving 60k off. That could easily spell the difference between facing a fireball on this team.
Yeah. Yeah. But we got what, 5 weeks left of the season? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 6 weeks left of the season?
This division has 2 more weeks of regular season, and then they are going into their round robin. The Swiss. That one.
Yeah, so for that 6 games, if you're focusing on getting development on your ults when you can while still winning, when you go into the playoffs, you will be ready. Your team will be about as good as a Norse team can get going into the playoffs if you can just get a couple like a 1 level or 2 on both Ulf winners. I think you would be in perfect shape.
And for everyone else in the division, make sure you don't let them have a perfect season.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that that's taken care of, we can take a look at the leaderboard and make predictions on who we think is going to go to the playoffs.
At this point, it's hard to pick against either the Norse or the Lizards. I don't know if they've played each other already.
Well, they might play each other again.
Well, yeah, that's true.
In fact, it seems likely.
They have already played, it looks like. So the one loss that the Lizards have is to Frosting and Filling.
So it seems likely that they will play against each other again in the Swiss round.
That might be the game to watch to go to the playoffs. We'll see.
Yeah, but I think Norse is favored for the position. I think both Norse and I think both Frosting and Filling and Charleston Chiefs are gonna do. I think they're gonna be in the top 2 spots for sure, and they're gonna be their promotion into the next season is going to reflect that.
Yeah.
3 and 4, I'm less certain about. I think that's almost anyone's game.
So if I'm making a prediction right now for who I think is going to make it to the playoffs in this team, in this division, I'm actually gonna go with the Lizards.
Okay, I mean, you can back the cold-blooded monsters if you want. I'll stick with the Norse.
All right.
And I guess we'll see who's right. Okay, you know what? Let's be real. An hour from now, I'll have completely forgotten who I picked. But, we'll see who picked correctly at the end of this season. Yeah, in terms of the 3rd and 4th place, though, for those sweet promotion spots, I think... I really don't know. I think anyone...
It's hard.
Anyone
It's
from
hard.
3rd to 7th could, yeah, let's say that could easily end up in those two positions.
It's hard to determine promotion spots anyway, though, because there's a lot of re-rolls that happen, and
Mm-hmm.
so like the promotions and the relegations are a general guideline, but it's not something that is a hard and fast rule. So I wouldn't even really worry about it if you're in the relegation or the promotion, or not didn't make the promotion bracket by a little or two, because you're probably, if you're keeping the team, probably still going to be moving up.
Yeah, especially at these lower divisions, that's definitely the case.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, that was Div 9. Okay, yeah. Let's move on to 10A.
Woohoo!
Whoa, here we are. Okay. Week 6. Honest to God versus Boner Boys. You know what? There's a lot of draws this week. Versus Boner Boys. It's a draw. Goblins killed a Tomb Guardian, though, so you know this is basically a win for the Goblins.
Exactly, and that was awesome. They didn't have the ball at all, but didn't matter. They just kept the other team from scoring.
Yep. It doesn't matter if you don't... Okay, actually, it matters a little bit if you don't have the ball. But it matters a lot less if your opponent can't score, either.
That is true.
Okay. Horn Stars versus Sugar and Spikes.
Sugar and Spike.
0-0.
Also a draw. Horn Stars had 50% ball possession, but I'm wondering if they just went on a punching spree and didn't really worry about
Only 32 blocks, so frankly, I don't know what the hell happened here. You know, actually, the Orcs outblocked Chaos badly, so I think the Orcs just beat the... I think the Orcs went on a punching spree and just completely failed to break armor.
Well, I mean, both, they got pretty even in armor breaks. They're even on removals, so I'm not exactly sure what happened. 4 passes by the Chaos, so this has just been one of those wild and wacky games. Maybe weather was involved.
I mean, there was definitely a scrum here, though. The Orcs have nearly 60 blocks.
Yeah.
Okay. Common Nightmares versus the Jonestown Journeyman. 1-1 draw.
Well, the Journeyman only had 1 Journeyman in this game, so that helps them. They got their catcher leveled, but no actual real damage. There's a minus movement lineman, but he's, just a lineman.
Oh no, at this rate, they're going to need to change their name.
Yeah. They did take 49 blocks, so I'm confused as to how they let that many blocks get taken against them. But, I mean, they got the draw, so there's that.
They only took 15 blocks, so if I had to guess, probably some inconvenient turnovers happened.
Yeah.
Maybe too much standing up players who should have stayed on the ground. But they got the draw, so... next is the Cub Scouts versus Serpent Lords.
Club Scouts is another Necro team, taking on some beat-up Dark Elves.
And this was not a draw.
This was not a draw. The Club Scouts win this 1-0.
I think they just ran it in. Like, pretty even blocks, pretty even injuries. Pretty even ball possession.
Yeah, pretty even rushing yardage. The Club Scouts got those extra 20 meters that they needed to get the touchdown.
So it would seem. Okay. Hierarchy. That was an admin win. Wait.
All right.
This was. I'm gonna need to double check with someone on this, because that doesn't look right to me. We'll do that later. With a REBBL versus L's behaving badly, 1-1 draw.
Yep. What do we have? Minus Agi on the Mighty Blow Tackle Blitzer. That sucks. I know that feel. Same thing happened to mine this past week. Minus armor on a lineman.
I don't think you fire that, though. Like,
you don't.
It's Mighty Blow, right?
Yeah. Get him dodge, and he can then semi-effectively dodge around again.
Okay. I have spent most of the last 24 hours, like probably half of the last. I spent a big chunk of today dodging around like a lunatic with Amazons. If Amazons can do it, then so can Dark Elves.
Yep. He's still good.
Yeah.
But yeah. Looks like I'm actually surprised the elves were able to hold on to the ball as long and get the draw with it being so one-sided on damage.
Well, yeah, this is actually quite a low block count. So I think probably what happened is the elves did a good job of controlling the blocks they were giving up. So I don't think these injuries didn't happen all at once, right?
No.
Like this is.
They ended up.
Oh no, sorry.
I was saying they ended up taking 5 KOs and 3 casualties.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's a lot of attrition. That's not. It's already only 11 players.
Yeah.
On the team. So that's impressive that they can get the draw with that much damage taken.
I mean, like, it all depends when it happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can envision a scenario where they slowly took attrition, mostly KOs in the first half. A lot of them came back in the second, and then they started taking perms, but not so fast that they couldn't score.
Yeah.
But I didn't actually watch the game, so that's just wild speculation. Last of all for the week, we have that is also an admin win. Okay, bashing Lizzies. I guess they just didn't play some of their. They just couldn't play some of their games on week 6.
Maybe.
Let's see. I just want to do a quick check here. Yeah, that's 2-2. Yeah, they just couldn't play their games. Because they. I think. Okay. Honest to God versus the Club Scouts. Undead win. Or Necro win.
Yeah.
The undead.
Unfortunately for the goblins, they're still goblins. So,
yeah.
It's an uphill battle.
It really is. Next is Hierarchy on Common Nightmare. 1-1 draw. Oh, hey, Hierarchy induces Zara. She did not seem to help much.
No. She got the MVP, though, so that's cool.
Yeah. That's Zara. I bet you anything that Zara spent most of this game in the KO box. Not the injury box, the KO box. Because I've induced Zara before. And she always seems to end up in there.
I would like to say that she didn't, because there were no KOs inflicted by either team or received.
Damn, you're right. Okay then, maybe she got surfed. That would do it too.
Possibly.
I don't know. I guess we have stats for that as well. We could check, but we're not going to. Moving on.
Yeah.
With a Rebel Yell? No, I've clicked on the wrong one. Okay, we're doing Greenskin Brawlers versus Boner Boys instead. 1-1 draw also.
It's getting crazy right now. Yeah, there was a lot of draws in these past 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We had another dead Doom Guardian. Oh, jeez. But that one was a loner, so I'm assuming it was a mercenary.
That seems like a safe bet, yeah.
Yeah, a dead throw rod with plus agi throw rod. That hurts.
These skellies are just taking so much damage.
Yeah, they're getting beat up on pretty good. But I don't know. I haven't looked at the leaderboard, so I'm not sure how it's going. But with all these ties, it's anybody's game.
Yeah, this was another huge scrum.
Yeah.
As well. Okay, and now that one I skipped before, with a Rebel Yell versus Horn Stars, 2-2 draw.
All right, we got minus movement on a white, Sammy Hagar, the palm white. That's still okay. Minus movement on a rookie beastman, that you don't have to worry about that. And I think we're pretty good. 43% ball possession to with a Rebel Yell. There was probably a light scrum because it's 41-34 blocks. Not a whole lot of blocks, but it's still a decent amount.
Yeah.
Just 13 armor breaks taken by the Horn Stars, so you can't really do much if your players aren't on the field. So
Honestly, I'm impressed that the Chaos scored twice in this. I think that is a sign that they played well, actually, uh, judging by those results. Okay, and moving on. Bashing. Oh no! Oh no! The Lizzies are missing 2 weeks in a row.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
well, I am gonna need a double check of that they're still in the league. I mean, the team is still in the division, so maybe were just unavailable. But I'll double check that with someone. I'll know for the next week. Um, Elves behaving badly versus Jonestown Journeyman. Elves win.
You know what's this is weird. I'm looking at the match report. It looks like maybe it's not done correctly on Rebel.net, but it looks like an admin win from the stat line. But I can see deaths and injuries.
Really? That's odd. Maybe. Wait a second. Okay. Well, in the Blood Bowl client 2 client, it is just 50-50 zeros. So I don't know. Yeah, I will definitely have to ask someone. Bashing Lizards. No. We were just talking about that. Elves beat elves. Wait. Oh, what? What? Okay, this was the scheduling thing because it is not a concede win, or it's not an admin win, but okay. You know what? What the hell happened? What the hell happened in this game?
Yeah, I don't know because there's a dead catcher.
And 2 touchdowns, but only 1 on the. Okay, that's weird. I guess that they might have had connection trouble. That sometimes will cause weird things like this.
Yeah.
Or rather, the fixing of the connection problem will cause weird things like this. It is a side effect.
Oh, so like maybe the game got restarted.
I've seen that before. Sometimes the match report will be screwed up, especially on third-party things like Rebel.net, where it'll have the match report from the first game, but not from the replay. Or in this case, it might have been the case where they had a disconnect before they got to the end. It happens sometimes, but maybe they decided Elves behaving badly should take it. I don't know, okay?
Yeah,
there are several possible scenarios which could produce this result.
All right.
Bambino's Rebellion versus Serpent Lords. 2-2 draw.
Hey, look, another tie. 50% ball possessions for both teams. 8 blocks, 39 blocks. 12 armor breaks, 13 armor breaks. 3 Kazs apiece. So it seems like a very even game.
That's really rare that you get exactly 50 on both sides.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you did it. Congratulations.
No one achieved anything. Okay. Let's look at teams. First up is Goblins.
Of course it's Goblins first.
Hey, they're the first ones in the list.
So yeah, we've got a block troll, block guard. From honest to God, we got another guard troll. We've got a mighty blow, grab, fanatic, dodge on a loony. Is that a double dodge on a loony?
Nope.
No, it can't be. Sneaky get goblin. I hate / love it.
Also, dirty player goblin.
Yeah. I find it funny that you made a sneaky get goblin, but then the dirty player takes sidestep next.
Well, the thing is, sneaky get and dirty player don't actually synergize with each other very well. Dirty player makes you more likely to break armor, which makes sneaky get useless. Sneaky get is for taking no assist fouls. I mean, it's mostly useless, but if you're using it for anything, it is for taking no assist fouls. Whereas dirty player, you still want some assists because you want to consistently break armor so that it's mighty blow on the effectively on the injury roll. Yeah,
that makes sense. But I mean, I like. I don't like sneaky get at all. Like I said, hate / love. Yeah. I mean, it's a typical Goblin team. Surprised that there's this much development on the Fnatic and it's not dead yet.
Yeah,
Other than
this is around where Fanatics start getting really good. It just needs to roll some doubles. Then it will be amazing. Like, the dream Fnatic would be, like, Block, Sure Feet, Mighty Blow, Grab. Probably. Maybe just take the movement up, a movement up even instead of Sure Feet. That would probably be safer. But you know you're gonna GFI anyway.
Yeah.
Get real. We all know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I like this team build. I would like to see some more goblins, but he doesn't have a whole lot of money in the bank, so I'm probably just having to replace things that die because that happens a lot with substance.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's at 12 players. He has 3 rerolls and he has an Apo. I don't even mind the Apo anymore because of this Fnatic. I would genuinely, on this team, I would use that Apo on the Block Troll and on this Fnatic. No one else has Apo rights.
But
yeah, I don't think it's actually that bad on Goblins to drop to 12 or 13 because you're always inducing players.
Yeah, he's got Knuffle's Altar.
Mm-hmm. Ideally, you want Ripper because Ripper is really good. But any star player pads your numbers, right?
Yep.
And you can also hire mercenaries. They're not that expensive.
Yep.
Okay. Next is Common Nightmares.
What are you dreaming about?
Okay. Is this a nickel or is it MNG? It's just MNG.
It's an MNG.
Okay. Your werewolves are kind of boring, but whatever. We've already talked about the repeated names. We don't need to repeat that. I distinctly remember talking about it for this team.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we looked at this team, I think this was the last team we looked at before we took our break.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, not much has changed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't choose when your doubles come on werewolves, so, I think you're getting to a point where you got 220k, and I don't know if there are any star players for Necro, so...
Necro have a couple of good ones, but I don't think any of them are really cheap. Well, Alibaba is fairly cheap. Other than him, most of the good Necro star players are in the mid to high range, like Cheney.
I misspoke. Not star players, free agents.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that. I haven't looked for Necro.
So, I don't know if he's trying to save up for a star werewolf or something, because that's what I think when I see something above 150. But he might have had 150 in his last game and then just got more money, and he just hasn't figured out what to do with it yet.
I will say, level 1 stadium, if you're looking for things to do, seriously consider getting a level 2 stadium so you can buy an enhancement.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're worried about having seed money, well, that'll still put you at 1200, which will be enough to replace any player on your team.
Yep.
Also, in terms of standings, this team is at 3-5-0, which might be a great record in this division. I just genuinely don't know. This division is weird. It has had a lot of draws throughout. This one in particular. Okay, let's move on though. Horn Stars.
Alright. My game just crashed, so I will be back in a second.
Okay, well, let's go over the team. I will go over the team while you're reloading. This team has 4 Chaos Warriors, and that is 4, 3, and 2, and 9 Beastmen. So that is 13 players. That's a little on the high side, but I think 13 is the sweet spot probably. There's a whole lot of block on this team. There's 1 agility 4 Beastman. There's 2 extra arm Beastman. There's a plus strength Beastman, and all but 1 Chaos Warrior has Mighty Blow. He went Mighty Blow first on
Uh,
every single one.
If you're going the long route, that works. It all depends on how you're building your team, and if you're going the long route to try and like win the Rebel Super Bowl, I've seen like that's what
Sage.
Metal does and Sage
Okay.
did.
Yeah, it is what I'm pretty sure it's what Sage did. Yeah.
That's what Jimmy Fantastic did. So they're playing the long game. They weren't like even though Sage did win the Super Bowl in his first season, like none of them were hoping to win the Super Bowl their first season. So they just went Mighty Blow first to speed up development. So that
it just sort of happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this looks like a good start for this team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know that there's much for me to add to it. Like, it's at the stage of development where there's a few things you might want to start working on, but you certainly don't need to. Like, you could take more block, or you could start building a sacker and a killer at this point, I think. You already have your ball carrier because you rolled the agility 4 fairly early, and you're building a backup, so, like, you're already good on that front. I guess probably get level up on your 4th Chaos Warrior, but like, you don't need me to tell you that.
Yeah.
And and in terms of record, it is 2. Sorry, it's 2-3-2, so it's a fairly middling record. Okay, now let's move on. The Boner Boys, the Borner Boys. Well, they have 4 Tomb Guardians again.
Nice.
3 of them actually look pretty good, even, if not exceptional.
Yeah, and the plus Agi Throw dying, that's unfortunate. And it looks like a Blitzer got retired fairly recently too. I don't remember looking at that in our recap, but he's only played 2 matches. So he was a rookie in both those games as well. So it looks like they've just been taking a lot of hits. They don't really have a whole lot of development. And it seems like what they have had has died fairly recently.
But at the same time, they are super TV efficient with most of their development being exactly where they want it to be.
Yeah,
that is on the Tomb Guardians.
Yeah, for where this team is at in its development. Maybe not so much where it's at for the season in the division, but for where it's at right now, it's in a good spot to be able to, finish the season strong and put in a strong case for next season.
Yeah, 2, and you know what? Their record is 2-5-0, so
they haven't lost yet.
They have not yet lost, but they have drawn a whole lot.
Yeah.
Which, apparently what else is new with this division, but, I'm pretty sure that is another middling, result once you add all those ties up. But this division is weird. Maybe we'll be surprised when we get to the scoreboard.
Yeah.
The only thing, honestly, the only thing to do, frankly, is to roll some doubles and stat ups. Well, and get dirty player.
Yeah. I wouldn't try and feed SPP though to a skeleton.
It'll happen. It'll happen naturally eventually. Yeah. But get a dirty player skeleton.
All right.
Okay. Next we have Sugars and Spikes and Everything Nice.
Not to be confused with Sugar and Spite, which we just did. These are the green elf cousins of Sugar and Spite's dark elves. We got 1 Palm Blitzer, which I like, 3 Guard Blitzers, 2 Black Orcs have already gotten blocked, the other 2 are still struggling a little bit. We got a Blodge Thrower, which I like a lot. We have a minus Agi lineman with Block Fend. You don't really need to retire it, but, I mean, maybe at the end of the season.
I mean, honestly, I don't think the agility really matters much on an Orc lineman.
It doesn't, but they're one of the...
It does feel a little bit bloaty, though.
Yeah. It's I mean, technically, it's not bad. Like if he was, just block, and I mean, yeah, keep him. Like I said, recycle him at the end of the season. I would say, he can do his job till the end of the season. I mean, you got plenty of money in the bank, so you don't need to replace him right now because extra block is always good.
I mean, like, I'm not going to, especially on this team, which I feel like this team is a little development starved. Although you don't really want development on your line orcs anyway.
Yeah.
I would not tell you to fire this player, but if you are going to fire a player, this is the one to fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Jonestown. I
was saying no enhancements yet.
Yeah.
I have not.
No, I checked that. I also didn't look at their record, actually. Let me go back and check that. 1, 3, and 4. So they're struggling a little bit this season, which I think is reflected somewhat in their development.
Yeah.
Like, those things are sort of tied together. They're struggling to... I think they're struggling to score is what's actually happening. So that's turning into lower development. And then, in turn, they are struggling to win games because they don't have as much development.
Yeah.
But you know what? That'll get better as your team develops more, one way or the other. So, the Journeymen. Elves. And you know what? They have a whole 9 players.
I know. There's only 2 journeymen for next game. It's crazy. So, 2 catchers. I'm assuming he's probably going to buy another one soon.
He can actually afford to buy one right now, I think.
I thought they were 100K. So
he's at 110.
Yeah, so he could buy one for the next game if he wanted to.
At the same time, I can certainly understand wanting to save that money.
Yeah, in case a blitzer dies, because blitzers are more important, I think.
Yeah, especially with the way this team has been going.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of development, as we can tell.
Because everything keeps dying.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm in a death spiral myself, so.
You know what though? They have a record of 3-2-2, so they could certainly be doing worse.
Yeah. I'm 2-3-3, so they're doing better than I am. So, all right. I don't really know what else to tell you because there's not so like. I feel like if you're having a winning-ish record with the slow players, you already know what you're doing. So there's not really much else that I can really tell you.
Honestly, stop letting your players die.
Yeah, control those dice.
There's not anything else to say. It just needs players to live so that it can actually develop them.
Yeah.
So let's just move on. Serpent Lords. Life is a cycle of snake eating. Wait. Is this another sex joke? No. I don't. Okay, these are not. What are these names from?
Magical Chance, Caligula. I think it is. The only one that I know is Caligula, and that was a Roman emperor. I don't know who the other ones are. Caligula is famous for his orgies.
Yeah, and also being a little crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, what Roman wasn't? If we're honest.
I mean, some are more infamous than others, historically speaking. In terms of the actual team, this team has a lot of stat busts.
Yeah. He has no money though, so he can't replace him. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like I remember this team has taken stat busts and deaths like every other game almost, and just has consistently not been able to replace players. Like, they have 3 rerolls now. They didn't used to have 3 rerolls. So they bought the 3rd reroll at some point during the season as well.
Yeah.
Still only at 2 Witch Elves even. And they have only 3 Blitzers.
Yeah, 3 Blitzers, 1 Witch. Got the runner still. He's healthy at least. I would get Tackle next on Shira. So you can have... your Mighty Blow has Tackle as well. I would have gone Tackle first, but I can understand wanting to get Dodge first with all these stat busts. once you can replace players, which is probably going to be a while, I would replace Druez first.
Yeah, like I think this is really just the same case as the last elf team we looked at. Only it has an extra player on the roster. It needs players to not stop taking stat busts.
Yeah. And they got a strength 4 witch, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, like I think your development is fine. You just needed to stick around longer.
Yeah.
You haven't been doing great in the season so far, 0, 3, and 4, but considering the state of your team, I think that's quite understandable.
Yeah.
This has clearly been a rough season. Okay, Bambino's Rebellion, the Rats.
The Rat Ogre team, which I also hate / love.
Rat Ogre took Juggernaut.
I like it because why not? It makes them more reliable. If you're blitzing with them more often, you want the Juggernaut if you're not rolling doubles.
Honestly, I agree. Unless you roll a double on your first level up, I would say almost always you should take Juggernaut first on a Rat Ogre.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of the same. Well, no, not the same thing with Minotaur because you have mutations there. One Storm Vermin has Mighty Blow, one of them has Claw, and is close to having Mighty Blow as well. Gutter Runners aren't very developed yet, but they're Gutter Runners, so they'll get there. They're healthy. That's all. So.
Yeah, this team I think this team was a ramp-up team that came in fairly early, so they didn't get the Greenhorn development that the other teams did. They're not. I don't think they've been taking a whole lot of deaths. They've just not had the opportunity to put SPP in the places that it needs to be. But I mean, for what you have right now, it looks good. It's just a very early developed rat team,
which isn't even bad because you still have Gutter Runners, which are OP. So honestly, I think with this team as is, it's probably performing okay, and I can see this where it's starting to develop. Where by the end of the season, this is going to be a scary team.
Yep.
At least for some opponents. And in terms of record, you're 2, 2, and 4, which considering you're a ramp up, that's not that bad.
Yep.
Like you did come in late, so one of these losses isn't even your own. Yeah. Okay. Next. Elves behaving badly.
This is the other beat up Dark Elf team. Or one of 3 beat up elf teams. So this one has no stat
is
buffs,
every single elf team in this division super beat up?
I kind of stopped paying attention to all of REL about 4 weeks ago when my Death Spiral started. But from what I have seen and looked at, there aren't many elf teams that are looking good at all this season in REL.
Some of the ones in REL 2 are looking okay. Well, no, Arch is looking okay.
Yeah, I know Midseason has already said he's re-rolling, and so it's like a lot. Elves have just not been doing well this season, it seems. All around.
Okay then. Yeah, I guess so. I'll take your word for it.
They're all getting beat up pretty bad.
Yeah, like there's not a whole lot of development here. There's one really good witch elf.
Yep. That witch elf's real nice.
And that's sort of about it. And you know what? That might be enough. Actually, it really might be enough. Their record is 4, 2, and 2. So this is one of the better performing teams in the division.
Yeah, so at least they are doing well even with journeymen and hurt players. So
yeah,
good.
Okay, it's clear why nothing else has any development though. Looking at the damn witch elf, score some touchdowns on your blitzers. They will be so much better at level 2.
That's true.
Okay. I don't really have much else to say there, honestly. It's just one amazing witch elf.
Yeah, just try to spread some SPP around, get some levels on your other guys. like I said, buy linemen when you can. I know you're at $0 right now, so it'll be a while.
I think the next purchase is probably going to be the second Witch Elf.
Possibly.
Unless something dies. Yeah.
Unless a Blitzer dies.
Mm-hmm.
I think Blitzers are more important than Witch Elves.
On that team, I would agree. Next up, we have Calculators.
They are sitting at a nice even 1,000.
This team is still in? No, we're not looking at Calculators. They're not. They're not in the season anymore.
Oh, they dropped.
Yeah, but it still shows up on the list. Annoyingly, you know what? Fine. You can even. You know what I want from Cyanide that they're never going to give us? I want a second banner on this screen that tells you which teams have dropped. But also, I don't like this screen at all. I want a list view. So you know, yeah, Greenskin Brawlers, a team that's actually in the division.
So this is the Troll Orcs. They got the Goblin, still scored 1 touchdown. I hope he got thrown into the end zone. That would make
he had better have been. I cannot look up that stat, but he had better have been.
We got a lot of development, a lot of nice development on the Blitzers, but not really any development on the Black Orcs yet. We got 1 with Block, that's about it. And so Black Orcs are hard to level, so I mean it's understandable, but it's just unfortunate if none of them are getting any MVPs after playing a whole bunch of games.
And at 5-2-0, I feel like this team is probably at the top of the division. It's definitely near the top. I think it might be the #1 team. And looking at the team, I think it's clear to see why, because it's been focusing heavily on the Blitzers, which are very good out of the box and get steadily better as they get developed. But at the same time, I think this team is really going to struggle next season if Professor Chaos doesn't kick the Black Orc development into gear.
Yeah, so 2 of those Black Orcs, one has 3 games, one has 2. So it's it looks like a couple Black Orcs got retired.
Well, that's unfortunate, but I suppose it happens. Yeah, you need to level up your Black Orcs, and so that your team will be as good next season as it is this season.
Well, Morknast is basically a Black Orc at this point, anyway. So.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, that's sort of fair. I do like the development on this team, though. There are 2 guard blitzers. There's 1 palming blitzer, and the plus strength blitzer. I think that was intended to be a stacker, although I'm not sure it will continue being one now that it rolled plus strength. And the troll is actually pretty well built for being a corner piece.
Yeah, I don't hate this team. Oh, excuse me, I'm yawning.
Yeah, like it's a good looking team. It really just needs the Black Orc development.
Yep.
Okay. With REBBL is in the season. Let's see. That is a Mighty Blow White and a Palm White.
Yeah, the Palm White got the movement buffs, but like I said, there's no reason to get rid of them.
14 players, 2 block zombies, and not a single dirty player.
Yeah, I'd like at least 1 dirty player. But maybe it died. I don't know. I don't remember looking at that, though. We've got a Palm Mummy.
I like it.
All right.
At least conditionally. If you're only using palm occasionally, then I like it. If you're palming all over the place, then it's a really bad idea.
Yeah, that's fine. I would like to see William Murderface. I would personally take Stand Firm next on William Murderface if he doesn't roll a double or a stat up. But yeah, I hear palm mummies are all the rage, so that's good. Got a plus strength zombie, which is interesting, but give him some block and.
Yeah, I mean, I would have taken it.
He's a nice corner cage corner.
Especially on an undead, actually rolling a couple well placed stat ups can really increase the lifespan of an undead team.
Yep.
Which I know from experience of playing against them. The team itself has gone 3-5-0, which apparently is like pretty okay in this division. Like, top middle is what this score actually is. So, you know, you're not doing too badly. Is Hierarchy still in?
Yeah, they are.
Oh yeah, they're the Bretts. For some reason I see that name and I think I'm dead.
Woo! We got a Mighty Blow Blitzer. Alright, it's time to start playing this game. We got M&Gs on one Blitzer, and I think that's just an M&G on the blocker as well, and not a niggle. But, I mean, it says 1040, but it's deceptively low because he's got 3 players out.
Yeah.
Which would get him up to around the 1400 mark.
But you know, his next game is definitely going to have some inducements.
Yep.
Has the crucial dirty player, Peasant, most important player on the team right here. Still has no leader, which I feel like is a little bit iffy, but I think it's been sort of working for him so far. I still think he should probably take leader on the next Blitzer who levels up.
He might have been wanting to do it on Lord Porohoy, but he rolled doubles instead.
Yeah. That's fair. I would have done the same. I would take Mighty Blow over leader on a knight.
Yeah, because that's where you want your Mighty Blows on the Blitzers. I mean, if you're not gonna get leader, you're close to getting a 3rd reroll. So I wouldn't hate getting that, but I can see not getting it too if you just wait for a leader reroll as well. So.
Yeah. Record is 3-1-3. I think the only team we've looked at with lower draws than both win and loss.
That means for his potential draws, he's not playing for the tie, he's playing for the win, and I like it. It doesn't always work out, but that's what happens. I am 100% a fan of that school of thought.
Okay, so let me tell you, I would have done much better in REL 1 had I been playing for draws.
A lot of people would, but that's not why you play the game. You play to win the game. So
I think you'll find that I play to get star player or to get legend on ridiculous players. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I like how this team looks. I've had my rant before about the knight having 4 knights, so I won't pick that up again now. I take leader on your next level up, get some more guard on your yeoman, and get some more dirty player, and you're pretty much good to go.
Yeah.
Okay. The Bashing Lizzies, who I need to double check to make sure who they're still around, but you know, as far as I know they are, so we'll look at them. They're not that developed anyway. There's actually not much to say here.
2 Black Saurus, a Diving Tackle Skink, a Dodge Saurus, and a Catch Skink. I mean, there's not really a whole lot there. He's got 60k to buy his other skink back, and he's got really nothing else to buy, so might as well just go ahead and do it.
This was also another ramp up team.
Oh, it was? Okay. And I like Diving Tackle on skinks, but I typically do Sidestep first, but I mean, both are good. I do like having Catch on one skink just for handoff plays. So, I mean, it's good. It's just very underdeveloped.
Yeah, like, I think there's no bad development here, although, well, Dodge is iffy, but it's not bad.
I would skip Dodge on the first level up with Saurus. Like, the first double, I would skip. Second one, I would think about it.
Yeah, I would do the same. Like, Dodge is really good on a Saurus. On, like, a level 4 Saurus, Dodge is really good. But level 1 Saurus, you can't really actually do much with it. And it slows down your development to get things that speed up your development. Like Block and Mighty Blow.
Yeah.
It's just something to think about. But yeah, like, get more development and the team will start looking better. I think you're probably not playing for this season. You're playing for next season or the season after that. Uh, okay. I think that was the last one.
Nope, we got the Club
No.
Scouts.
We have one more.
Also a ramp-up coach.
Maybe the lizards aren't a ramp up. I'm not sure anymore. I thought they were.
It might be the rats that weren't a ramp-up coach. I know that this division's had 2 of them. I think.
Okay, Cub Scouts are definitely ramp up though.
Yes.
You know what? I think it is the Cub Scouts and the Lizards because of their position in the list. The list is sorted based on when the team was made.
Gotcha.
Which I only know from experience. Nowhere does Blood Bowl 2 tell you that.
All right. So we've got a Mighty Blow White. We've got a Block Werewolf and a Dirty Player Zombie. G unit. He's got no armor, or he's -1 armor, but he doesn't need it because his armor is punching people in the face with his boot.
When you have the
sent off.
when you have the best skill in the game, you don't need armor.
Exactly. So
it just makes Claw worse against you.
Exactly. I mean it's an underdeveloped Necro team. There's not really a whole lot to talk about, but for what it does have, it's good.
Put some guard here and here. Try and get some Mighty Blow here and here. Maybe if you're feeling really ambitious, get a sack or ghoul. And get a lot of zombies who foul a lot.
Yep. I like guard first on whites, but I can understand wanting to get Mighty Blow so you can have one player with Mighty Blow to blitz with.
I could also see doing one of each.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it looks good.
Okay. Now let's cozy over to the leaderboard. Sure enough, Greenskin Brawlers are in first place with the 5-2-1 record.
5-2-0.
5-2-0. Yeah, sorry. Which puts them effectively. They have a 1-game lead over the second place team, which is both with Rebel Yell and Common Nightmares.
Yeah, I mean, 4 undefeated teams actually. There's another one in 5th place. So you guys need to start
being
them.
Defeated.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a perfect record because there are a bunch of ties.
Also, keep in mind some of these have played their Week 8 game and some of them haven't. Like if you look at the 2nd and 3rd and the 5th, the 2nd and 3rd have played one more game.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like it's a very even division with the amount of draws that we've had. So it's a lot of like-minded coaches, which means it's a good division to be playing in.
Yeah, it's really even, which I think are the most fun divisions to play in. And I genuinely am not sure who. Okay, what I want to know is who have the Greenskin. Oh, the Greenskins haven't played their game this week yet. So they could potentially be 2 whole games ahead of the second place if they win a game.
Yeah, they got to beat the Journeyman, though. But I would predict the Orcs to win that game.
Even if they get a draw, a 4-point lead is just as good as a 6-point lead in most cases.
It looks like the Orcs have not played either the Undead or the Necro team yet. They got them coming up in weeks 11 and 9, respectively.
That is the information I wanted to hear.
Yeah, so those are going to be some games to watch. The Orcs versus both of those on one Necro and one Undead team.
Yeah, so I think the Orcs are in a strong position right now. They're definitely the favorites. But it is definitely possible that they will go down to either the Undead or Necromantic ones.
Yeah, and it's not over for the Dark Elves or the the Khemri.
Khemri might also be in that Undead bunch up right below the Orcs after this week's game. They could be in there as well.
We haven't done the math, but it looks like it's not unheard of for some of these teams to get back up there. All it takes is a couple key deaths, and the teams that haven't lost any games start losing games.
How many weeks are left?
6.
6.
Well, 5.5, because week 8's halfway done.
Okay, let's say 5. That is 15 possible points. That is Well, yeah, it's 15 possible points. The first place team currently has 17 points. If they lose every single game, it is possible for everyone on the leaderboard, except for the Serpent Lords, actually no, including the Serpent Lords, to pass them. However, more likely they will get draw or better with let's say it's a draw, that will be 22 points. So you would need at least 8 points to be a bare minimum level of competitive. Which would be at, let's see, 8th place. Horn Stars have 8 points. Anyone below them is almost certainly out of contention for first place.
This has been math time with Chaos Ublue.
Yeah. That was an abbreviated version of how I do playoff calculations. Usually I look at future matchups as well, but that takes time, which I have not had.
Alright, yeah, so I will take your word for it, and anywhere from 8 up has a chance. I'm cheering for the Bretts, damn it. I want them to do it. Do it for Bretonia.
In terms of likely ones, though, let's say, okay, Orc is going to need to drop at least one game for the Undead Necro and Khemri to catch up. For anyone to catch up, they need to drop at least one game. Let's say they drop one, then Undead Necro and Khemri will all be in very... I'm assuming Khemri will win here. Maybe I shouldn't be. At least 2 teams will be in very strong positions to steal first if they do eventually drop one game. One game,
yeah. And the Orcs still have to play at least 2 of them. I don't know if they've already played the Boner Boys yet or not. So it's anyone's game up there in that top 4 or 5 kind of thing.
Okay, so my long shot pick is the Khemri, but I think I'm going to give my realist pick to the Orcs. Also, I don't want to pick Necro because...
I'll also do my realist pick to the Orcs because those blitzers are really good. But like I said, I'm cheering in my heart for the Bretonians.
They have not been mathematically eliminated.
Go Hierarchy. Get to the top of that pyramid, just like you deserve.
But yeah, like an actual plausible scenario, I think, is if Hierarchy wins all of the rest of their games and the Orcs get mostly draws, or all draws, actually, then Hierarchy will pass them.
Yeah, that's how we do it. You know what you gotta do, Bretonian team. Go for that win.
So yeah,
get them W's.
So yeah, for those keeping track at home, you don't need the Orcs to lose, but you do need them to not win.
Yes.
Okay. I think we're done.
That has been the mid-season review. I hope you liked it, and if you don't, I'm sorry.
Well, you're not going to get another one, so hopefully you did like it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, and have a good night, and have good games.
Yeah, guys.
And we'll hopefully be back in less than 2 weeks. Yep.